Hi, everybody. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you guys are from different places. Uh, Before I start, what is Comtech Gold? Let me introduce you myself. I have been working into IT industry since last 30 years, developing various kind of softwares, right from banking software to insurance software, and in their various peripheral support software as well. From there, I've been growing into different technologies, right from coding into DBase, database, Foxbase, Fox Pro, and then now working on the blockchain platform. So the story started some 3.5, 4 years back, where I wanted to invest into various asset class. And while Bitcoin was like making noise, I thought of investing into Bitcoin. But at the same time, being a conventional investor into stock markets and commodities, I also wanted to invest something in gold because we were very much sure about the current day where you see gold is running nearly $3,000 per ounce, almost there. It's like 2,900 something, 850 to 900. It's been going around, and that was our focus that it will reach 3,000 ounce any day. So these were the two areas where I wanted to invest, and the when I was started to learn about various cryptocurrencies, I came across a currency where you can invest into a token which is backed by a physical asset. And while doing certain research around that token, I found a lot of gaps. So tried to cover these gaps. We thought, how do we cover these kind of gaps? Like gaps were like, are these tokens really backed by the physical asset? What is the governance layer? And how do we go about all these things? And of course, when we are trading on chain, what are the parameters that I have to look into? So all these things I will cover in my masterclass. And that's where the Comtech Gold was born, the CGO token we call it as. And it's about me and Comtech. And now let me take you through various slides. Oops. Okay. So the whole idea is it is a unique opportunity where we explore how the tokenized have been revolutionized, and based on this RWA, bridging the gap between the traditional finance and the blockchain technology. So in this session, basically we'll cover how the Comtech, a pioneer in tokenized gold solution, and learn how the startups can build innovative products around XDC network. Not only XDC network, but you can use these gold-backed tokens to build on your own, I would say, a platform where you can offer various financial instruments like gold bonds you can create, gold-backed bonds. Then you have staking and leasing and other programs. So this is the whole idea of this project. The key focus being the introduction for this real world asset tokenization, which is represents that that you can have an ownership, not in a wholesome term, but at least you can have it as a fractional ownership in whatever asset class that you want to own. Like for example, if it is a real estate, and if you cannot buy a property, you can at least have a fraction of it. And with these small fractions, you can increase the liquidity, and there is an efficient transferability. So now, what are the key features of RWA tokenization? Blockchain, is a foundation. The representation of real-world asset, fractional ownership is there, and enhanced liquidity. Now, how does the blockchain, work as a foundation? Now, if you take 1 kg of gold bar, and if I want to distribute into various players, or you can say different investors, it becomes very difficult. It's really difficult to cut a gold. You have to, melt the entire gold and then recast it, and it's lots of issues are there in actually burning the gold. There environmental issues. Then whenever you burn any gold, and again you melt it and then recast it, it really takes a lot of it has lots of issues in that. So to make it more fractionalize it, blockchain is a key tool where you can have with this particular token, you can go up to 18 decibels, but practically you cannot break gold so low. That's why we have created one token is equivalent to 1 gram of gold. So for each 1 kg of gold bar, we have 1,000 tokens, which is 1,000 grams. So this is why we have been using the blockchain to make it more easily fungible, and it is easily transferable. So as blockchain supports, cross border as well, you can transfer in any corner of the world without actually moving the physical asset. Now, as you can say, it represents the real asset, which has covered into my first point, that it is just a representation. Now, if I may ask anybody, you guys might be knowing that every day you are using a token. Every single person on this earth is using a token. And initially, of course, it was backed by gold. So, so sorry for this. There's some call which is I'm getting. I'm extremely sorry for that. So just to tell you, this particular token that everybody is carrying, they have it right now in your pocket. So this token, I would call it as your cash, your money, the currency that you're having. So basically, what is that money? It's just a paper, but it says the owner of this paper has the right to have the value asset of this. So this is the whole idea. If you have it on a piece of paper, which is written, that all the central banks, they write it on this. That the owner of this paper, or the value that is written on the paper, can get equivalent value of that particular asset. So representing the same thing, what we have created is the digital tokens. Now, as I also said, a single bar cannot be owned by multiple owners. So for that, you have a fractional ownership, and it is not only in gold, but even in other various asset class like real estate or a piece of art. If someone wants to, own a piece of Mona Lisa painting, yes, now you can do it with blockchain. You can be an owner of that particular, a small owner piece of that. As a real estate, if there is a huge unit, a huge apartment which needs to be owned, and if some people who cannot afford to have it the entire one, they can have a small piece of it. In fact, nowadays, if you might be seeing, a lot of people are coming out with fractional ownership for the real estate. Now, what are the benefit? It is accessibility. It's accessibility. It's on the app. So, anywhere you go, you can just have to have an internet, your mobile phone, and it is accessible to you. You don't have to run behind it. It is efficiency. Efficiency is just on a click of a button. You have your assets on your phone, and you can view its price fluctuating every day. There is a transparency and security. With blockchain, you can see entire things are on the public network. If you want to see how much your wallet has, what kind of tokens they have, you can. It's like transparent. And of course, with blockchain, since the records are immutable, you can see that it's secure, and it has a global reach. Example, as I said, the real world asset, the our real estate commodities, real estate. I said if you have to own a flat, you can have it, a fractional ownership of a flat or a villa or a mansion. commodities, as I said, gold is there, silver is there. We have already also tokenized silver. Artwork and collectibles, as I said, Mona Lisa painting, you can already do it. Financial instruments. Now, financial instruments are becoming very, very crucial and very, very important. Because if you see, I'll give you a basic example of ETFs. And they are, say, gold-backed ETFs. If you want to earn those gold-backed ETFs, you have to go through a lot of hassle. Like you should have a centralized place where you can go and buy these products. Then there are entry fees, exit fees. And of course, after all these things, you have taxation. With blockchain, when it comes on to when you can tokenize these, it becomes just at a click of your button. So if I want to buy any kind of bonds or any kind of asset backed tokens or their instruments, it's just on my fingertips. There are few regulatory challenges in RWA tokenization because every country has their own regulations. But now recently, hearing the news that US will be regulating a lot of reading out a lot of regulations. We are hoping that soon the things can be smoothened down and it can be passed on to other countries as well. The other challenge is, of course, the asset verification. It is very difficult for anybody to verify the asset, but we have overcome this particular challenge. Because what we do is when Comtech wants to tokenize the gold, Comtech takes that gold, they make sure that the gold that they take is 1 kg, 24 karat, and 49 purity. It's like 99.99% pure. And it is LBMA, that is London Bullion Metal Association, or it's a Dubai Good Delivery, approved gold. Only those bars we accepted for our tokenization. And market adoption, as you can see, a total market cap of for gold is around somewhere around $800 billion, and out of which Paxis Gold and Tether Gold are the major players, and Comtech Gold is at the third position. Now, what are the futures or where you can see this thing going? It is just not this owning the token. When you have this token in digital ownership and a fractional ownership, with what are the benefits that you can do with these tokens? The benefit is like you can invest into token in through various options, like since there is a huge liquidity in the market, and the secondary markets are also booming up, you can do a systematic investment planning where you can have a monthly a regular the say buying capacity, or you can say you can decide that, okay, I want to buy, say, 10 grams every month or 5 grams every month. You can do that with with this blockchain technology. Now, earning through leasing options. What happens is, like I can give you an example of a real estate. Why do you want to buy property? Either you will go and stay in those property, or second thing is you will go there and you will buy the property and you will rent it out. So whenever you want to rent it out, you can actually start earning on that. So you can have the rental incomes. Now it becomes very difficult nowadays. ROI is becoming very low in these real estate, that you need to have partners who can rent it out with you. So that's how you become a partial owner of a property, and depending on what kind of ownership that you own, uh, based on that percentage, you get your share of rental income. And of course, you can monetize your asset by, leveraging, or you can just stake it, because against those tokens, against those stable coins, you can go and buy Bitcoins or Ethereum or any other token you feel it's going to go up in the market and you don't have funds. And Still, you don't want to, any kind of asset like gold, which keeps on rising day by day. You don't want to lose on that opportunity. But at the same time, you don't want to miss upon the opportunity of the big trend that is coming up with, other tokens like Bitcoin or Ethereum or anything. So you buy those gold tokens, you park it, you stake it. Against that, you can monetize it by taking cash against it, or buy USDT, and then based on that you can buy other tokens. So it gives you both the benefits. Now, the reason why we have chosen XDC Network as a blockchain partner is very simple. They have a very, very, very low gas fee, which is practical negligible. We come across a lot of players where they have been investing into other gold tokens, gold-backed tokens in other blockchains. But now they are not able to trade because the margin in gold is very thin. So when you want to trade it, you have to trade it with a negligible gas fee. Now people take away for a small transaction, say 1 gram of transaction, which is around $90. Uh, the gas fee that you have to pay is around $25 to $30. So it doesn't make any sense. In fact, you are putting money out of your pocket. So where with XDC, it is practically 0.0001 percentage of the amount, which is practically negligible. It is highly scalable. It is in operability with EVM's chain. It is an established use case with a trade finance adoption. So XDC is doing a lot of things into trade finance. And for the cross-border payments, they are using this CGA tokens. The advantage of this is the gold price remains constant across the globe, unlike any other currency or unlike any other, any other asset class. Of course, it has an enterprise-grade security, and institutional adoption of XDC is huge. Now, what are the things that you need to consider for regulatory and compliance benefit? So the securities is like, definition of the security. You should be knowing, how are you defining your token? How are you defining your underlying asset? And where are you registering it? Now, over here, when we are in Dubai, we have been registered with Dubai Airport Free Zone, and the compliances are taken care internally by AML and compliance, and we have a Go AML, which is taking care of all these things, so that we are very much aligned with our regulations in-house. Now, and when we are doing this, they are aligned with, global AML and global, you can say, KYC compliances. So we take care of all these AML compliances as well as, KYC requirement, where whether it's KYB or KYC, we make sure that all the documents are in place, are going to a regulated entity or a person who is authorized to buy such kind of tokens. When it comes to custody and ownership, the proof of ownership is always it's required. So it is done through the blockchain wallets, and there are for custodianship. We have for digital custodian. We have the partnerships like Propine, Fiverr. Then we have Copper, and for physical custody, we have partnered with TransGuard and Brinks. TransGuard is a part of Emirates Group, it's owned by Emirates Group. And for all these things, for the proof of ownership, what we have done is we have aligned it with DMCC, which is a Dubai Multi-Commodity Exchange, and ensure that each and every gold bar that we keep with our vaulting partners like TransGuard or Brinks, we ensure that there's a trade flow warrants which is created. Now, these trade flow warrants are like LME receipts, London Metal Exchange. When you deposit any metal in London Metal Exchange, you get a receipt that you are the owner of this particular metal. Similarly, trade flow warrants, they give you the receipt. As per the trade flow warrants, the owner has to be informed in advance to them. And based on these trade flow receipts, we generate the tokens. So each and every token that we mint has the trade flow warrant number as well as the bar number, which is assigned to this. So if you come and tell me that these are the 10 tokens, from which bar do they belong to? So we can explain them how we can trace back to the original bar. Of course, there are then capital gain taxes, then asset-specific taxes as per various country where you are operating from, and your local government charges has to be paid. Now, as compared to consumer protection, yes, the transparency is maintained through the blockchain technology, where each and every wallet you can see it on the you can trace back, how the transaction was done, who are the players that were involved, and the wallets are also go through the AML guidelines. Regarding the insurance, the asset that we keep it with us, that is the physical gold, when it is deposited in the vaults, these vaults uh, give us 100% assurance, and there is an insurance backed where these golds are stored. So any kind of fire or any kind of theft or any other, they are protected. So the value of the asset class has to be declared when we had deposited the asset. And data privacy and security, there's personal data, which is as per various data prevention guidelines. We have to maintain the privacy of the data, and the security is maintained through the smart contracts. Cross-border transaction, various jurisdictional compliances has to be taken care of, and whatever the conflict of the laws are, we need to maintain that, and we have to ensure that they are properly taken care of and not violated. And the simplest way is doing transactions through centralized or decentralized network exchanges, where you can actually go and trade in various asset class, and then it's like you can use a stable coin to make your own value out of it. Then, of course, there are asset-specific regulations as well, where real estate has their own asset regulations, where for example, now in gold, as I explained you, the gold go and keep it with our vaulting partners, and then we make sure that this gold that we keep it with vaulting partners are backed by trade flow warrants. So similarly for real estate, the general trend is if I want to have a property and tokenize it, the general trend is like you cannot have the ownership of the property directly. So you need to create a kind of a SPV, which is called special purpose vehicle, in which you registered this particular property. So the owner of this property is now the SPV, and this SPV can be now tokenized and fractionalized, so that various small time investors can go and own this property. Similarly, with financial instruments, if there are gold-backed tokens, or you can say any kind of bonds are there, any kind of sukuks are there, if they need to be launched, there has to be a specific regulations. In sukuks, you need to have your Sharia regulations to be maintained. Otherwise, you don't have that. You don't get the fatwa. Now you can see what are the example of regulatory frameworks. You have SEC regulated tokenized securities under existing securities laws. Then you have CFTC, overseas commodity, which can include the tokenized gold and other tangible assets. In European Union, you have MiCA, that's Market in Crypto Asset Regulations. Then in Asia, you have Singapore, you have MAS, which is Monetary Authority. In UAE, you have VARA, where we have our application with VARA for issuance of the tokens. So basically, all these are more or less on the same guidelines, but still they have the individual way of regulating the crypto space. So what are the practical steps for a startups to enter into an RWA space? So entering an RWA space as a startup, you need to have a technical expertise, regulatory compliance, and strategic partnerships. And basically, the steps that you follow is you have to research and make sure that you are getting into a niche product. You have to identify, what is your asset that you want to make tokenize it. Various market analysis has to be done, whether the token that we are creating, is it easily adoptable? Is it acceptable by the people? And can you have a market, or you can have secondary markets for it? So all that kind of analysis needs to be done. Building a strong legal and a compliance framework with regulatory compliances, and you need to have a very strong compliance. As I explained, our asset, which is gold backed, physical gold backed, how are we securing it? How are we making sure that tomorrow, if anything happens to Comtech or anybody in the senior management, the asset which is stored by the investor is there and they can get it back. That's the whole idea. The circle has to be completed. The investment that you have put in should give you a good yield. And second thing is they should be already, if whenever you want to encash it or redeem it, there has to be a process for it. And we do have a process, which is like, if you have, say, 1,000 tokens with you, you can come back with your 1,000 tokens. We burn those tokens, we cancel the trade flow warrants, and the asset can be moved out of the vaulting units, and they can be distributed back to the investor. Now, you need to have a robust platform around it. So what gives you a robust platform? The blockchain that you are selecting. The way we have selected XDC, as I explained to you in my previous slides, why we chose XDC. You should be able to choose a good blockchain. Then how do you write your smart contracts? That is also important. And the basic your platform development, where it should be a very user friendly, I would say, app nowadays, because everybody wants to use the app instead of going on the website and buy or sell the assets. So the platform has to be very robust, very strong, where you don't have major glitches. And of course, the form of partnerships that you require is the regulators, the banks, the DeFi platforms, the custodians. DeFi platform, because you need to have a product around your asset class. You just cannot have your just asset and just go about, say, okay, you buy this, it's not a Bitcoin. You need to have various other asset class running around the financial instruments that you can build around it. And so you need to have a transparent model. Your revenue streams has to be clear. The token design has to be very specific. And the major points that you need to focus is, of course, on the marketing and education. You have to educate the stakeholders. What I'm doing right now with you guys, like I'm trying to teach you, how you can develop your RWA tokens, build the trust among the community, and then you have to engage them with various activities, like you can ask them to play games. And we also have tied up with some gaming platforms where they give gold tokens as their reward points. And it's not only on the success base, but they are also based on the task base. So these gamings benefit the users even if you complete a small task in your game, and you don't have to win the game. So over there, you start earning your points in gold. Then you have to pilot your project in a small term, which when we started, we had only started with 1 kilo of gold. And then when we ran across and we had good investors, within 3 months, we were around 100 kilo of gold. And right now we are around 176 kilo of gold. So, and then loop your feedback coming from the customers, take their, because customers are your key to, enhance your product, making it more robust, making it more strong, and invest into securities like, you need to have proper cybersecurity, audit your smart contracts. And of course, the study, a case study and inspirations like which we have Comtech Gold, then real estate tokenization. As I said, key challenges are regulatory barriers, adoption hurdles. Like if I go and, ask 70-year-old person, to buy gold over the app, the person will be a little reluctant unless until he's a tech savvy person. So these kind of adoptions you need to do with regular incentivization, education, marketing, and making sure, and building the trust over the product. And you have to understand what are your operational costs. So this brings me to the last screen, which is like, thank you very much for your for your patience for listening to me. And I would like to take any questions if you guys have. I would be happy to take it from you. I'll stop sharing the screen, or if you guys want to have any screens to be taken back, I can roll it back.
Sure, Jignesh. Thank you so much, Jignesh. I really appreciate. The audience, I mean, if you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Jignesh is here for us and he can answer your queries.
Can I just go ahead?
Yeah, Rakesh,
Rakesh.
please, you're all yours.
Yeah, please.
Hi, Jignesh. It was an insightful session. So, had couple of questions. So, whenever someone is like buying and selling, right, based on country specific, right? So there will be some kind of a VAT or a tax or whatever is applicable. So how are you going to determine on the blockchain? Is it explicitly coded based on the country and KYC specific? There are extra charges, or how it is going to work in RWA case here?
Yeah, so it's a very good question. So it depends on where are you launching your tokens, how are where are you getting it regulated. So as per there's CGO, that's Comtech Gold token is considered, we are regulated in UAE, Dubai. We are also talking to FINMA, that's a Swiss-based regulator, where if they can do it, it will be across. And these tokens are listed on three exchanges, that is Bitrue, Bitmart, and LBank. The whole idea is over here was to make sure that these tokens can be bought and sold without any kind of taxation or VAT. Whereas to answer your question specifically, if you are buying in, say, country like India, then there are taxation around the profits that you make. So I think if you have invested into any asset class, and if you're trying to withdraw that at a huge profits, then there are around 30 to 33% of tax that you need to pay. Now that is irrespective of which tokens or which coins are you buying. So that's how if you want to trade into anything which is cross border, then you need to check your local regulators. If I've answered
No,
your question, you let me know if you
no.
want anything specific.
What I meant was like whenever if I'm buying a physical gold, especially from India, think that I'm a user. So there will be a 3% VAT or something which I need to pay. Even though,
Yeah,
and when I sell it, there is some tax or whatever. But even for
yeah.
buying, so am I authorized to buy the physical, not the physical gold, but the token on your platform from India? Is it uh, like permissible now, or even via exchange? If that is the case, do I need to showcase something, or how that regulatory system works, or something like that at a high level?
Yes. So there are two ways of doing it. One is like you can you know go on these three exchanges which I've told you. Now the question will be how will you transfer your funds from India to these exchanges, because you need to have it in USDT to buy these tokens. So that is what you need to check out at your end. That what
No,
are the
think that
regulations around?
I am a KYC user, and if it acts like a token based on
Mhm.
my, what is that, a capital gain or whatever, uh, I am
Yeah.
like kind of allowed. If that is the case,
Mhm.
if it is an
Then there's
international,
no
there won't
issue.
be any kind of, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So then there are no taxation on which
Okay. So
you
it
have your
purely
personal taxes.
behaves just, but it is a commodity, right? But still, it purely behaves like a token, the way you told, right? So,
Yes. So the price of the token is like directly pegged to the international gold price. So
right.
it actually behaves like a physical asset.
No,
Now
got
in
it. But
UAE, we
go ahead. Sorry.
go ahead, go ahead. No, you go ahead.
No, like, so yeah, whether it is UAE or any person on the globe, right? Different countries. So whenever they are buying or selling, so indirectly they are trading kind of a commodity, right? Even though it is a digital token, it is a commodity. So there won't be any issue as per the regulation. That is what it keeps, like whenever we build a platform or RWA, right?
Yeah, so see, my take is on that is apart from the local regulations, there are no
Mhm.
international regulations. So, or any kind of taxation on that, apart from the spread that the exchange makes out of it. I don't think so. There is any other fees that you need to pay on that. Once you encash, when you encash, even in India, I remember, when you encash your token or when you are trying to withdraw funds, the taxes are applied only at that point of time.
Okay. Got it. So there won't be any kind of an extra charges or whatever. So whatever the token you are minting, right? So that will decide like your charges and all the fees, whatever you told, right? The storing fees, insurance fees, or whatever. So that cumulatively
Yes.
adds, or it is
No, that
purely
is
the.
no. Those storing fees or minting fees or anything that we adopt, we have no taken into consideration, and we accept we have absorbed those costs.
Okay. Got it. And even if that is the case, we can even use this as a collateral and
Yes,
can be
you
done,
can.
right? Something like that.
So yes. So
Uh,
that's what we are working on, the various
okay.
platforms and with various partners, how you can collateralize and you can monetize on the asset.
Okay. Got it. Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks. Anyone else?
Anybody else?
Yeah, please.
Hello. Hi. Hi, Jignesh.
Yeah, hi Ram.
Uh, uh, Actually, we are in a same field, tokenization field, or company, and we are like to partner with you. So, if
Mhm.
you send your mail address, so we can discuss about more that
Sure,
we
sure.
have already built on XDC product. Also, we are
Okay.
we are on XRP ledger already on the mainnets and so on. So we can discuss our with you with the partner and uh,
Sure. So you have, you can follow us on LinkedIn. My profile is
that's
already there.
that's great.
And then
Yeah,
from there we can take. Yeah.
yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Jignesh, I had one more question. Like, as we are talking about RWA, so there are tons of regulations which needs to be taken care of, right? So how you approach that angle, like, and was it too time consuming, or like how you approached and try to start it till close? So that becomes a major piece for any kind of an implementation. I feel like 70%, I feel from my end as a normal guy who want to start a product for a global user. Any tips on that? Uh,
Yeah. So see, when we started, there were no regulations. It was like 3.5 years back when we started, when we launched our company and we started minting tokens. So, and we were waiting for Vara. So when the Vara came in, we were the first one to put our application. So our application is still there. Unfortunately, Vara is still trying to figure out on how can we regulate a commodity, especially when it is backed by gold. So they have the regulations laid down by Emirates Security Act over here, ESCA they are calling it, but uh, they don't know where, how do you define this particular token. So our application is already there. We are talking to them, and now regulation is one thing, but internally, when you have your own product, how do you ensure investors trust? Regulators' objective, why do you regulate any instrument? The whole idea to regulate is that you make sure that not only you as an individual, but anybody in your organization misuses their rights or their power and takes personal advantages. And because this money belongs to investors, so ethically also it is not correct. So while we are building or waiting for the exact regulations to come out, we started building our own governance layer. That's why what we did is we went to DMCC, which is Dubai Multi Commodity Exchange, which is government of Dubai, and we told them that we have this particular product. How can you help us? And they were happy to allow us to use their trade flow warrants. So we partnered with them to use this particular trade flow warrants, which says that as soon as the asset is kept with our vaulting partners, myself as an individual or any of my team members or anybody from Comtech authorized person cannot just go and walk into a TransGuard vault or a Brinks vault and say, hey, give me my 1 kg of gold. But they will say, no, it's not yours. It has been protected by DMCC trade flow warrant. You have to go and cancel the warrants first. So I would say more than regulations, if your ethics are in place and if you are able to demonstrate it, regulators when they come up with, they will ask you to just build on more controls around it. That's it. That's my take on the regulation.
Got it. So whichever are the at least the basic ones and have the audit or whatever in place internally, that is the first thing.
Yes.
Right.
And of course, your AML and KYC, where you
Yep.
are making sure that the person who is investing or is taking physical or digital tokens or anything are not using it for any kind of terrorist funding or any kind of misusing the funds.
Got it. Thanks.
Yeah, I think mostly depends on the kind of country you're living in, the kind of regulations there is. I think the local regulations play a lot of effect, and I think if you have to do a real world asset transformation into digital asset, you'll have to undergo a lot of scrutiny by the local authorities as well, and there should be a running example somewhere. Now that Comtech Gold has done something, I think there is an example for other companies to follow as well, as far as Dubai as a jurisdiction is concerned, right, Jignesh? Because now there is
Yes, that's
something
right.
that there's something that other people can look up to. Okay, this is how this was done for a particular asset. Maybe it's a precious metal, but whether that can be applied to other real world assets. Maybe, for example, a painting, or maybe actually an asset, a real
Real
estate.
estate.
Yeah, something that's very tangible in some form or the other. I think uh, the kind of effort that you have already put in place and the kind of rigmarole that you have undergone via the compliances per se can also add to this knowledge that can go out to the new founders, the new RWA.
Perform.
Well, yeah, because we also have a company which we are accelerating, and this company basically is into they are building this product and a company, and these people are they have clients who are also who are into precious watches or luxury watches, which go
Yeah,
to
yeah,
multi crores. Okay, as far as the
yes.
NRA value is concerned, okay, millions of dollars, and those are also real world assets which can be tokenized, and multiple people can own that. So that is also
So just just to add to this, we have our white label solution as well,
Yeah.
where if anybody wants to, have use this particular tokenization platform for any kind of RWA, they can, approach us and we can help them out.
Brilliant. Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, thanks so much. Really appreciate. Anyone else if has a question, because we are almost just about coming to time. In case there are none, then we'll probably thank Jignesh and let him do his other businesses at this hour.
I had just a
Actually,
question.
I had a quick question around educating clients. Thank you for the presentation, guys. This is really great and really informative.
Please, Ryan.
I'm excited about Comtech. I've been following you guys for a little while. How do you convince clients that this is better than buying paper gold on the stock market or Wealth Simple or some kind of app? The problem that I'm having about getting people excited about RWAs is they're like, why is this better than what we have now? How do you educate people around that?
So we share the comparison sheet where, says that the XDC blockchain that we are on is like, helping us to close the transaction faster. Not only that, we are also making sure that, there is negligible gas fee, which these are the two major factors which comes in our favor, and it's easily then sellable.
Okay, great. Thank you. A quick second question I had too. You mentioned
Yeah.
this is the tokens are pegged to the price of gold. Are you guys using an Oracle like Chainlink, or do you guys use the plugin Oracle from the XDC network?
So yeah, we are not using the plugin Oracle because we are taking it directly from the LME market, the price
Okay, great.
feed.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Ryan. Yash Raj, you had a question, right?
Yeah, I have one question. So basically, my question is, for example, I just want to buy some I buy some token, and I don't want to be cash out, but I want to, get the gold. So it is possible to, get the gold, or if I have like, spend enough money on the tokens, then it will be, some worth of like some good amount of gold. So it will be, like I can able be to get the gold, or like it's just one you can go and dex and take out the cash out the money, or you can convert into stable coins or something like that. So it is possible to
No,
like
yes.
mm,
We have a redemption option. Suppose if you have collected 1,000 grams, that is 1,000 tokens, you can come back to us. We will burn those tokens. We'll take your tokens. We'll burn those tokens. Against this, the trade flow warrants that we have, we'll cancel that warrant, and then we'll get the gold out for you. And we can ship the gold anywhere in the world to the nearest airport or the custom place, because of course there will be transfer charges will be there by our transferring partner. But we cannot, if you are in India, we cannot give you at home. We will have to go and collect it, because A, you need to have a import license for gold, and B, you should be able, there will be other taxes that you need to, local taxes that you will have to pay to get the gold out. But if it is for, say, a country like Hong Kong, which is a free port, we can deliver till the doorstep.
oh, okay, thank you. Yeah, that's my question.
Thank you. I think we'll have another session coming up in another 10 days, which will be the second part to this entire conversation on building an RWA project or a startup on XDC Network. So I think we'll have to probably say thank you to Jignesh. Jignesh, really appreciate your time. And I hope the entire audience has learned something. This has been recorded and this will be put up on our YouTube channel in maybe by next Tuesday. And we'd also have a summary of whatever we had discussed posted on the blog. So thank you very much, Jignesh. Really appreciate your time. And
Thanks a lot.
thank everyone else for joining us today. I hope you have learned something, and we will take it from there on in the next one. Thank you very much. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Take care.
Bye. Take care, everybody. Have a good night, good evening.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.